Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the AA-ISP International webinar series. Today's webinar is The Power of Storytelling for Sales Teams. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. My name is Larry Reeves, and I'm the CEO for the association, and it's my pleasure to serve as your host today. I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we hope you find the webinar beneficial. We are a learning-based association dedicated to inside sales and developed to help individuals, teams, and organizations improve. It's that simple. But now let's move to today's topic, the power of storytelling, or for the sake of today's session, how to turn cold prospects into engaged buyers. Now, this is something we all want to do or have our teams do, but as many of us know, it's easier said than done. Now, there are, of course, a lot of considerations, the tools, the sales skills, the market or geographic territory. But I think a lot of us know it's also the ability to connect with that individual. And a big part of that is our communication style and our skills. And that's what we're here to talk about. And with us, we have two gentlemen that have a wealth of knowledge and experience in these areas. First, we have Patrick Gunn. He's from EMEA, Sales VP at QStream, where he is responsible for the expansion of the company's enterprise sales force and the development of QStream's SaaS business outside North America. As an experienced international sales leader, Patrick has spent more than 25 years in enterprise software sales for everything from some of the largest companies in the world to small startups. He's known for his passion and ability to drive high-performing sales teams that deliver on revenue, but more importantly, also on professional and personal growth. Now, joining Patrick is Calum Kilgour, CEO of Slingshot Guru. Calum is a longtime sales professional and delights in seeing people communicate with passion, clarity, and purpose. Now, he's also very creative and resourceful, and at an early age was able to figure a way to overcome his dyslexia by avoiding lots of words and data in his proposals and sales communications. Instead, he used pictures and simple drawings and stories, and that's something many of us find very hard to do, but has worked extremely well for him, and in fact, much better than the traditional PowerPoint style. Now, Patrick and Calum will be discussing some of these most effective lessons learned over the years. I'm very excited to have them with us and look forward to hearing their conversation. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thanks very much, Larry. Let me just share my screen here. So yeah, thanks very much, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Let me just get this shared to you. So you've all sent through some fantastic questions all about stories and sales techniques and things like that, and you are going to hear about that right now. But you're going to start off by playing a game. It's a game about buying and selling. Now, okay, so there's going to be buyers, there's going to be sellers. The buyers, that's all you in the audience, but there's going to be one or two sellers in the audience, so I need your volunteers. Now, I know it's quite difficult to actually get you as volunteers, so what I've done is I've gone into your LinkedIn profiles rather sneakily and grabbed some of your images, and you're going to take part, so keep your eyes on the screen. You could be appearing at any moment. Okay, so this gentleman here, that person is going to be a seller today, and this lovely lady is going to be a seller today, and that lovely gentleman is going to be a seller today. So I'm not going to reveal who these people are unless in the chat box you tell me who they are. So how's it going to work? Well, these are the sellers. Let's get rid of our game show music, because that can actually be quite annoying. Okay, there's you there. You are a buyer, and that might be you there, or that could be you there. You're a buyer, and you have to get into your mind, get into the role of a finance manager. So the situation you're in, you're a finance manager working for a small organization that is growing very quickly, and you're based in the US, but your organization is going to start selling into Europe, and it's your job to go and find a finance system. So what have you done? Well, you've gone and invited 3 vendors to come and pitch to you. They've got 20 minutes each to pitch their wares to you, and you're going to decide who you're going to invite forward. So how are you going to do that? Well, first of all, You have to get into their mindset. And if you're in the sales world, you should be used to doing that. You're doing this every day of your life. So how are you getting into the mindset of this particular buyer, a finance manager? Now, what I want you to do is think of what finance managers really care about. Now, the younger members of the audience might not recognize this here, but this is Dr. Spock from the Starship Enterprise, and he's doing something called a mind meld here, which means he can see, feel, and hear from other people's point of view. So that's exactly what you have to do right now. So I want you to start thinking about what finance people care about. And whilst you're doing that, you can look at this image here to get you into the spirit of the mind meld and start typing into your chat box the things that finance managers really care about. Okay, so we're not going to continue until we start getting some feedback here. Okay, it's starting to come in. So we've got Andy said they're interested in bills. We've got Brad saying they care about tax. Someone called Amy says they care about Excel spreadsheets. Tremendous. Okay, they care about Excel spreadsheets. Kevin says they care about money. Siobhan says they care about risk. Fantastic. So you are getting into the spirit of this. Let's see if you got them all. Here's a few things that finance people care about. They care about money payments, risk, invoices. Okay, fantastic. So let's get over to the sellers now. So what are they going to pitch? Well, this is like a real life situation because they did have 20 minutes each, but us buyers, we're pretty fickle lot and we're busy people, so we've cut their time down to 20 seconds each. So they're going to give us one sentence each, and based on what they say, you are going to decide who you're going to ask back for more information. So, seller A, what have you got to say for yourself? Okay, our finance system is top in the Gartner Magic Quadrant in the growing business category. That sounds pretty good. Seller B, you may be breaking the law because of new tax legislation in Europe. Okay. Seller C, what have you got to say? Our finance system has proven ROI for businesses growing internationally. Fantastic. Okay, Jen, it's over to you to do a little poll here. So will you do that poll? We'll have some more music while that's happening. Which vendor would you like to invite back to find out more? Vendor A, who are top with Gartner. Vendor B, you might be breaking the law. Or vendor C, who's got proven ROI. So the answers are coming in. It's very exciting. It says here, I'm not allowed to vote. That's fair enough. There's more votes taking place. So you're incentivized to vote here because when you stop voting, the terrible music will stop. Okay, are we going to see the results? Hey, look at that. That's a very interesting indeed. Vendor C, who's got proven ROI. Well, that is very interesting. I actually swapped the questions around in terms of order here compared to the last time I ran this, and the results are markedly different. Well, so vendor C seems to have it in this case. However, the research says something different. Now, there was a book written a few years ago by an organization called the Corporate Executive Board, called the Challenger Sale. Some of you may have heard of that book, some of you may not. The Corporate Executive Board, these guys are analysts. They're academics who observe what's going on in the world and write papers and books about it. And what the Challenger Sale did is it looked at who were the top performing salespeople and what kind of behaviours did they have. So they looked at the behaviours of lots of different salespeople, and they broke the results down into 5 distinct profiles. And they gave them names. One was called a lone wolf, one was called a hard worker, one was called a relationship builder, one was called a problem solver, and the final one was called a challenger. Now, in actual fact, if you read the book, many of the characteristics in all of these individuals you would actually want. So these characteristics are present in us all. But the people that seem to be performing the best in terms of revenue generation, much more than anyone else, is the challenger here. Now, in populations of salespeople, the best performers in the organization exhibit challenger type behavior. And what that means is that you're able to have a conversation with your customer and convince them to look at the world from a different point of view. Now, some of my customers have attempted to implement challenger, and I know lots of people have as well, with different varying amounts of success. The ones that failed are the ones that were already assertive salespeople, started going up to customers and really wanting to challenge them. And actually what happened was, in a lot of cases, the customer said, I don't like being challenged in this way. So they were kind of turned off by the seller. So it can be positive, it can be negative. So I like to reframe it as being the most successful salespeople are the ones that can provoke thoughts. The thought provoker. What do thoughts lead to? They lead to actions. And actions is what you want your salespeople to do. So this book is empirical evidence that this type of behavior gets the best performance. So if only the top performers are on the right hand side there, how do you get all the rest of them? And I'm sure many of our audience are already exhibiting these behaviors right now. If you've had any success, we'll have a look in a minute. But how do you get the kind of middle chunk of the population to move over to the right? Well, if you can do that, your organization is going to increase its efficiency and results tremendously. So how do you do that? Well, you've got to kind of have a process and understand how your buyers behave. So this little story here is called Join the Dots.